What is up, guys? I'm going to teach you today how to do this bright neon look using the MAC Art Library It's Designer palette. I'm starting off with 24-hour eye base. This is one of my favorite products. It keeps all your eyeshadows on all day long, no matter if you're out in humidity, you have oily eyelids, you're at the gym. It prevents the oils that your eyelids produce from breaking through the shadow and making everything crease. This is the NYX, it's a NYX like gel eyeliner they came out with for the summer, and I'm just etching out the shape that I want my crease to be. My eyes are really big, so I can actually go right in my crease to get the shape that I want. If you have a more hooded eye, you'd put this line just a little bit higher so that it doesn't smudge on you. The pencil is very smooth, so it puts down a lot of product kind of right away. I'm taking a 219 pencil brush because I just want to soften the application of the liner. I don't want to like blend the product out and move it around too much. I'm just going to soften it out so that my shadows go on quite smooth. So I'm taking this lime green color and we're just going to go right on top of the liner that we just put down. And we're using the pencil brush because we want something tiny and targeted. So I'm just blending this out across the eyelid in really short, tiny strokes because we really need to pack the color in because we want a little bit more intensity. You could have totally put a white eyeliner down too. That would have been fine as well. So some things to keep in mind when you're working with neon colors or bright colors is that they require a lot more blending and a lot more packing. So you go back and forth a lot, and the more color you add, every time you add a new color, you need to blend out the color that you previously put down, which I'll show you when I add the secondary color. So I'm going in with this blue shade on a really tiny brush. I think this brush I think I got it at IMATS, maybe from Crown Brush. I don't remember, but it's just like a flat paddle brush. And I'm just packing this blue color just along the lash line right on top of that lime green color that we used. And this is just going to create a little bit more shape, actually create some more intensity because the contrast between the blue and the lime green will just stand out a little bit more. And just to help speed the blending process along, I'm taking the lime green on the 219 brush again and going right over top. When you use a secondary color, it kind of fills in the gaps and makes everything a little bit smoother. And go by a little bit faster. I'm going to go back in with the blue color on that flat shader brush. And just keep in mind where you deposit the eyeshadow on the brush. So if you're using the tip of your eyeshadow brush, make sure that that's the angle that you're coming into your eye. Don't use the flat side and like the paddle side when you need very defined lines. And more and more and more blending, which is literally this entire video, but just me blending more of that eyeshadow out with the lime color. And then I took it on the inside corner as well, just so that the eye was a little bit more cohesive. And then I started to move the blue up, but with the green shadow just a little bit higher. That's like I think that's just like a me thing, where if I don't lift it up onto the part of my eyelid, I think it looks stupid, but probably looks the same to everybody else. And you could literally go back and forth with these two steps forever until you're happy. I'm going to go in next with Chrome Yellow, and I'm taking a 221 brush, so it's a more defined, fluffy eyeshadow brush. And we're just going to make that crease line a little bit more hazy. Because the Chrome Yellow is it's a lot less intense because we have that liner, it will naturally just have a more blended effect over top of those products. And I really didn't know where this eye was going at this point. I kind of just built it as I went along. And then intensifying the green again with that 219, so really tucking it into the crease. And to give a little bit more vibrancy. I knew at this point that that corner where that blue is uneven was going to drive me crazy, but I wasn't going to visit it until a little bit later. Anytime you add an eyeshadow down, what you've previously done will fall into the background a little bit, so that's so you can decide what shades you want to bring forward a little bit more. So I'm taking the blue now underneath the eye. Using the flat edge of the paddle brush because I really wanted it tucked in. I didn't want, at this point, a super blown out under eye. And then I took that yellow liner from the beginning and I put it over top of the eyeshadow because I knew, because it was so creamy, it would mix with the shadow and create a little bit of a different color. So it did create like a little bit more of like a sea foamy green. And then I just started to blend it out. I'm going back in with that blue and tucking it again really close under the lash line to get definition, because blue in this look is our darkest color. And then I'm just blending the corners out just so they're a little bit more even. And again, that 219 brush and that lime color. I was actually getting really frustrated because I couldn't get the edges how I wanted them to look. Regardless of how long I've been doing makeup, there's always like little spots that you screw up all the time, and those outer edges are always my problem. Taking a beauty blender and just cleaning up any excess product under the eye. And then this is from Touch in Soul. It's like a crushed pigment. I'm using it dry. It's super, super shimmery. Any type of highlighter or glitter you could pop in the center. This one's a little bit golden with like a pink green pearl to it. And by adding this last, you kind of blur out any edges and it makes the eye look a little bit more complete. So even if you're not great at blending, throwing a little bit of glitter always hides anything. So that's a great tip if you're newer to makeup or you're struggling with this look. And that's another flat brush. So you can't see this here, but that was a blue highlighter, like a white with a blue shift. So I'm popping this on the inside corner of the eye. So I'm doing some last minute checks on any little tiny area that needs to be blended out. And of course, it's those frickin' corners. So just making sure that everything's smooth. And in real life, this look took 20 minutes to do. I don't have any eyelashes. I don't care what anybody says. My eyelashes suck. It's why I wear fake lashes all the time, because look how boring this looks. This is a waterproof mascara because any non-waterproof ones make my eyes sting. I do tops and bottoms. I really don't care about mascara at all. It's probably the one thing I suck at applying anyways. So I noticed I wanted this to be more hazy, so I decided to apply a little bit more of that lime into the crease. And a really good tip when you want to see where you want the eye to be more smoky, keep your eye open, look straight into the mirror, and look at the areas that you want to see more shadow, and that's where you're applying it. Don't just like aimlessly apply it in the crease just because. And I have pretty deep set eyes. That's why I get this like weird shadow and line. So I tend to really smoke out my lower lash line where it's kind of puffy, and that hides all the dark circles. This is False Lash Maximizer. This shit is my jam. So it's actually an eyelash primer that conditions your lashes so they don't break. But I use it in my brows. I like my brows a little bit lighter, and you get more of that soap brow effect. So I coat them in that, and then I press them flat before I put in my brow product. And I use Shape and Shade brow tint. So they're brow markers, and I use two different shades. I use Fling and Taupe. So like one that's more for blondes, and then like a really soft gray. So Fling, which is the color I'm applying now, I kind of apply through the body of the whole brow just to create some shadow. And because the tip of this is so fine, it actually pushes the hairs up for me, which I really enjoy. I don't like an overly defined brow, so that's why you can do this brow super, super quick. And then this is Taupe, which gives me more definition. So it's more just like single line work to imitate hairs. I live for this. It's so great. Even if you want to, like on clients, I've done like a really dark brown and created like very defined eyebrows. Here is my Lash Jam 75s and 76s from MAC. I wear the same pair, the same two pairs stacked for about a month. They last me a really long time. So the more you wear them, the more they become the shape of your eye. So you can just pop them on. And I just use the clear, like the white duo that dries clear. That is the completed look, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you were able to take away some tips from this. If you like what you saw, hit the like button, leave a comment, subscribe. I'm very active on Instagram, so you can follow me at Miss Megan Robinson. See you next time.